Until I understand this, I have to go into hiding. I should make my way to the docks.
This is one of the only books that has like these handwritten notes at the end. Obviously because, well, most of them
I
are
used
just
to listen
written.
while Emily and her governess Callista read from this book. I'm glad she wasn't here to see Emily driven out of Dunwall Tower.
The Pendleton brothers, major characters in the first game, as I hope you remember. 2 of them were targets. Well, I guess technically all of them were targets.
I've got to get out of Dunwall.
There's a few different paths you can go here, which is nice. Sort of lands you at different parts of the street. If you go straight to the left, you sort of don't have to bother with everything to the right.
Delilah turned Emily to stone. I will find a way to make her flesh again.
But there's a lot of stuff here. Since the first mission, there's no bone charms or runes or anything, so buy a lot of stuff. I usually just mean ammunition and things. One of the best things about Dishonored 2 is that you can do non-lethal drop assassinations. They are awesome.
Traitorous dog.
Corvos looks slightly less lethal. Emily sort of slams their head into the ground and it looks like blood comes out. It's pretty brutal for non-lethal, but Corvo mainly just knocks them out. Either way, they're cool.
The city is crawling with the Duke's men. I need to find a ship.
He's missing. Corporal Moore checked the royal quarters, and Corvo Attano has apparently fled the tower. We've got to find him. That's it, you've got your orders. Spread out and find the fugitive. We're in this with the Duke of Serkino, sink or swim. There's no way to turn back now.
Fairly straightforward way to deal with all these. You stay to the sides or you choke them out one at a time. There's a guard in each of these rooms. Alone, they are almost never a problem, obviously. Fish on the table, nothing exciting. The really exciting things here is the obtuse arguments of Lady Boyle. Same painting that was in the first game. There's also a password, and of course, it's 451. As always, the first password in these games is always 451. You can look up the reference to that if you want. That's it for this room, pretty much. There's always a lot of small items around. I'm trying to get as many of them as I can, but not showing off all of them because there's a lot of running around hunting down like 7 coins or whatever. Elixirs are good though. More fish. So the right side of this area has sort of been cleared out already. One by one, you sneak up on them, choke them out, drop them somewhere.
Can't stand my own stench.
Seems a lot of these guards have smelly uniforms, which is a shame. Statues and stuff is the big moneymaker, aside from obviously the paintings, which are all 200 gold each. Get statues and other things that vary from 50 to 150.
Yella, sorry you missed us. I'll be taking the children away from Dunwall earlier than expected. A few weeks before the upcoming anniversary of Empress Jessamines' death. Things are about to get bad, and I'm not just talking about the Crown Killer. Besides, there's profit to be made bringing new silver miners down south. So arrangements must be made. Ha, for now.
There's a few audiographs on this level, and I think that's pretty much the last one. Kind of uninteresting, really, except one of the nobles are leaving. This street can be a bit of a hassle to get through. Mainly the middle part, where they're all sort of multiple people standing watching each other. So, as always, when it comes to stealth, you need to wait for them to separate and more or less take them out one at a time.
Citizens of Dunwall, listen up. For the sake of your family, turn over all information concerning Emily Kaldwin and Corvo Attano, wanted for murder and treason.
I don't know that ship, but maybe the captain can help.
Not only do we have to deal with the guards here, there's a civilian sitting on the right side of the stairs. And while he's fine with seeing us, if he sees us carry a body, he's gonna be a little bit upset.
The Grand Guard won't like whiskey or something. Maybe one of them 2-penny drinks.
So it's a coup. The Kaldwins have finally fallen. Never thought I'd see the day.
It seems so. And even the legendary Corvo Attano couldn't stop it.
There's money to be made on this, mark my words.
You seem chuffed and happy. What if it all goes to pieces? Sometimes these things end with people like us face down on an executioner's block.
I'll be fine, I assure you. My grandmother turned a profit on the plague, and I'll come out ahead under the Duke of Serkonos and our new Empress.
90% of the time they pronounce it Serkonos. I think there's one or two people that says Serkonos. I think Serkonos is what we're going
Getting
with.
so one can't even breathe no more.
This poor guy is just... yeah. Has no idea I'm coming. I kind of wait until he's up here a little bit, because otherwise the civilians will see it. And then I sort of... you can move while you're choking, so I sort of move him to the left. And drop him right near his friend. Well, probably not his friend actually, because all the dead corpses you see here are guards who were loyal to the Empress. Guards who weren't actually part of the entire coup. Gotta get as much resources as we can before we move on. Although, like I said earlier, coins aren't that important when you do low chaos. You just need to get your key levels in certain powers. A couple of upgrades, but there's a lot of things you just won't bother with. You don't need more ammunition, you don't need... well, whatever. This is an interesting room, one I actually quite like. Because it sort of shows a little bit of what you can do in Dishonored 2.
I hope the Crown Killer doesn't come back. Nasty business. Killing a Kabod Boyle like that.
As opposed to Dishonored 1. Because of the non-lethal drop assassinations. And then we can quickly get up to this guy. You gotta be really quick choking him out, or he turns and he sees the body of the other guy. Which again, not a big of a problem as long as you stay out of sight, because then he goes over there, basically being distracted. Time to smash and grab. I mean, a lot of other people have already been doing it, so we might as well. Bunch of coins and stuff here. Ichabod Boyle case, the witness statement. So this is the latest target of the Crown Killer.
Poor guy.
And pretty much one of the main reasons why there was even a slight uprising against Emily. Although, as you can see from all the corpses around, a lot of people still didn't believe and were still loyal to her. Step by step, we're sort of taking out all the guards here in the street. But for a while, some of them are basically still going to just look at each other. And without any sleep darts or really anything, you have to rely on distractions. For now, we can just sneak past them, though.
Really go for a whiskey or something. Maybe one of them 2-penny drinks.
And we can check out the Dunwall Courier. This is an area I missed in my first playthrough, but it's pretty cool. It's basically a newspaper. They're the one that's been typing up all the Crown Killer strikes again and all those type of essays. So we're going to check out the top floor.
Special edition. Empress Emily Kaldwin, rightful heir to the throne, has taken power in Dunwall. The usurper, Emily Attano, and the murderous royal protector have been arrested.
Get out of here.
You have until tomorrow to print it.
I never should have listened to your rubbish.
Don't make a pig's ear of this, printer. I'm the one who gave you the scoop on the Crown Killer.
Half of which couldn't be verified. I must have been rat-ass out of my mind to use that name. There's no proof that the murderer has any connection to the Crown.
Well, it made a good story. Served a purpose.
Whatever's going on, this coup, it won't last. The people of Bristol are loyal to the Empress, and I'm gonna publish an essay every day for a month to make sure they remember it.
The people of Bristol have a new Empress. And in the morning, they'll have to find a new printer, too.
Only adults would threaten the man who runs a newspaper.
Time to put you out of business, printer.
Help! Someone help! My luck, it'll be that sadistic Crown Killer. Huh? What?
Traitorous dog.
That man, part of the Duke's coup, I'm sure of it now. And I saw him talking to Captain Ramsey of the City Watch.
What's done is done, but I had nothing to do with the killings.
I know that. It was irresponsible of me to print the name Crown Killer. I allowed myself to be coerced. Forgive me.
Forgiveness isn't my specialty. Whatever happens next, lay low. But when the time comes, tell people the truth.
You can count on it. I won't ask you what your plans are, but for the sake of Dunwall and for the Empire itself, I hope you succeed.
Are you careful with that sword?
The Grand Guard hard getting any business done here in Dunwall. That's all about the change.
Leave it to the Hatter gang to try to profit from the chaos of this coup.
Can't make it easier for them. That's what I'm saying. We need a network of shops selling contraband, just like they've got down in Serkonis. People are getting rich in Colero and Karnaca, even after paying the Grand Guard to look the other way.
So we set up some black market shops, pass along whatever we score, and we run security for the shopkeepers.
Right, and we take a cut on the sales. I'm telling you, the wind is blowing in our favor for once.
The Hatter Gang is a Dunwall local gang, so we won't be seeing them in Karnaca. But I like how they sort of set up the idea of black markets in Karnaca as we go there. These two guys are in no shape to deal with Corvo, of course. One of the absolute major strengths of Dishonored 2 is the more things you can do to be non-lethal. Part of the problem, I guess, hard to call it that really, in Dishonored 1 was that if you were playing non-lethal, it was all sleep darts, or avoiding, or choking. In Dishonored 2, we have a lot more cool things to do. But at this point on, we are pretty much done with the level. We've snuck past everything. I cut off some of the stuff where we were just sort of walking along the roofs, but you know, it's nothing exciting really. I'm showing you the differences of what it is, because I'm not personally done with the level. I like sort of clearing out the place, knocking out all the guards if I can, so that I can just run around like a crazy person, missing a jump about 8 times before I realize I need to be a little bit higher. But at this point it's easy enough just to crouch and into the water and onto the ship. You know what they say, they never look up. You should always look up. It's actually one of the best ways to traverse the area in Dishonored. Because the guards, yeah, they don't look up. Properly speedrunning this game, you can speedrun it really quickly. Especially later on, once you get your teleport type abilities, you just blast through the levels quickly.
I could slip past all these uniformed assholes and get into the tower myself. Do I still have it left in me?
Knowing what we know about Megan Foster from the first playthrough makes listening to her little mumblings much more interesting.
Lord Attano, you want to hear what I've got to say. I guarantee it. Lord Protector, forgive me for saying it, but you look like death warmed over.
It's been an unusual day. There's a coup underway, and I'm being blamed for the Crown Killer murders.
My name's Megan Foster. I work with an old ally of yours, Anton Sokolov. We learned something scary down in the south, and I came to warn you.
I know, Anton. The Duke's here with a woman named Delilah who's seized the throne. They have Emily, and I barely got out. For now, I have to get away, recover my footing.
Bad things always seem to happen in Dunwall. Feels like the end of the world.
I need to get to Karnaca, where the Crown Killer murders started. Delilah must have been down there for a while, and I've got to figure out what's going on.
The dreadful whale will get you there. Should we go?
I still have a few things left I want to find.
Soon, but not just yet.
Mostly money at this point. Also, I like to, like I said, knock everyone out because it's fun. But at this point, we're done, and we're ready to go to Karnaca.
During the confusion. You ready yet?
Let's set out for Karnaca.
I'll see you there.